ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ಅಖಂಡಾನಂದ ಸಂಬೋಧಃ ಬಂಧನಾತ್ ಯಸ್ಯ ಜಾಯತೆ ಗೋವಿಂದಂ ತಮಹಂ ವಂದೇ ಚಿದಾನಂದತನುಂ ಗುರುಂ. So until now in Samadhi Sharka Sampatti we saw Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, and now Samādhāna. Normally how we saw is how we see is Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Samādhānaṃ, Shraddha. Now he has changed the order in two places. Okay, Samādhāna is the final of the 6 prerequisites, 6 accomplishments. Now here the 6th one, Samādhāna, is normally defined as Samadhi, Samādhānaṃ, Samadhi. But there will be a confusion. Samadhi means people will be confused with the idea of Samadhi as said in the Yoga Sutra. If we gain that Samadhi of Yoga Shastra or of the Vedanta, then you have already gained the end result. You don't have to study anything here. So, to give a clarity over that, he is explaining it in a nice way. In the next 5 shlokas, he is explaining this. Okay, śrutyuktārthāvagāhāya viduṣā jñeyavastuni cittasya samyagādhānaṃ samādhānamitīryate. śrutyuktārthāvagāhāya viduṣā jñeyavastuni cittasya samyagādhānaṃ samādhānamitīryate. Shruti ukta artha avagāhāya. Avagāhāya, to understand. Avagāhānaṃ means to understand. Okay, to understand. Understand what? Artha avagāhāya. Understand the meaning. Understanding meaning of what? Ukta artha, the said meaning. Said by whom? Shruti ukta. So, to understand the meaning said by the Shruti, to understand that, viduṣā, by the learned, by the wise men, by the knowledgeable men, jñeyavastuni cittasya samyagādhānaṃ. Jñeyavastuni. Jñeyavastu means, jñeya means the object of knowledge. Vastu means the object. So, in the object of knowledge, cittasya samyagādhānaṃ, placing the mind very nicely. Samyagādhānaṃ, placing it nicely. Focus. Is what is called as a samādhānamitīryate. Samādhānam. This is what is said as samādhānam. You have to understand that. Jñeyavastuni cittasya samyagādhānaṃ. In the object of knowledge, in the object of focus, you have to fix your mind. That is what is samādhāna. Now, with regards to this, we have to understand. See, regarding the puruṣārtha and prarabdha, the question arises between the puruṣārtha and prarabdha because people are always confused about which to practice, puruṣārtha or prarabdha. Should I leave everything to my fate or should I handle everything through free will? Puruṣārtha, free will, and prarabdha, fate. So, in Bhartrhari's text, he establishes 25 and odd shlokas for puruṣārtha and 25 and odd shlokas for prarabdha, establishing both independently. Now, these are all confusions actually. Should I practice puruṣārtha or prarabdha? That's the simple question. And for that simple question, there should be a simple answer, right? So, the simple answer is, whatever be your focus, goal. I don't care if it is moksha or if it is wealth or if it is study, education or if it is power, whatever it may be, position. That you should have to have free will for that. The rest you have to give it up to prarabdha, the fate. If you are interested in education, the next fees or the next food on the plate, you should have to leave it to your prarabdha. So, cittasya, the thing is, jñeyavastuni cittasya samyagādhānaṃ, placing the mind very nicely in the, here vastu is absolute, in the absolute, or whatever it is, here absolute. Okay, the problem is, when yesterday I was talking about the sadhus, Whether they are good or bad, you don't have to judge. You just have to salute them and move away. Except whoever is your guru, move away from them. Now, when the people, when they leave their house, they are always good. They have their focus in attaining the God. The problem is not that. The problem arises when after they leave, there are not many who guide them properly. The problem is that there are many people who can do the nanu nacha, always implanting some doubt or other, but no one is there to guide. That is the biggest problem in everything. Like we have another channel, I Shastra QA, where I explain simple things regarding the Shastras. Okay. Now, regarding the bhasma dharana, regarding the way to apply this sacred ash, I say you have to use this 3 fingers. I also said that the middle finger, some people don't use it, and because of some reason. Thing is, middle finger is what they use for danta davana, for brushing your teeth. Now, some people don't accept the middle finger. In North India, they say you have to use the final 3 finger except the middle finger. In South India, in some places, not in every entire South India, in some places, especially the Andhra people, they say the first three, the thumb, the index finger, and the ring finger. So, except the middle finger, the first 3 or the last 3, that is how many people accept it. But these people, they don't understand one simple thing, which is I am trying to simplify. Second thing is, I am trying to bring whatever is in our tradition. Okay, in the tradition here in South India, wherever you go to in Tamil Nadu, you will see only this way people apply. Manusmriti, which is this Smriti? Where is this Smriti? Manusmriti or whichever Smriti, they always say different things, but they say always everyone, all the Smritikaras are generally accepting one thing. If your tradition does not follow this, if it follows something else, follow that. Simple rule. So the thing is, these people won't go and tell even one person. They would have not told how to apply properly, but they will start fingering when you do something. This is always what happens. So the thing is, when you go out, this person is pure. He does not have any idea of what to gain. But the thing is, there is no one to guide him to in the proper path. That's the biggest problem in the sadhus. And after a point, they lose heart and they start blabbering, and they also become some guide in blabbering, not teaching anything shastric. So, cittasya samyagādhānaṃ. So, therefore, you have to have a focus. I want this. I don't want anything else. That is how you should have to have. So, that is what is called as samādhānam. You should not let your mind waver away from your goal. I don't understand that. Okay. cittasya samyagādhānaṃ pumarthasiddherniyamena kāraṇaṃ naivānyathā sidhyati samyak sādhyam īshat manaḥpramāde viphalaḥ prayatnaḥ, not manaḥprasāde, it is manaḥpramāde, right? Okay, viphalaḥ prayatnaḥ, beautiful. cittasya sādhyaikaparatvameva pumarthasiddherniyamena kāraṇaṃ naivānyathā sidhyati sādhyam īshan manaḥpramāde viphalaḥ prayatnaḥ. cittasya, the mind, for the mind, sādhyaikaparatvameva, beautiful word. He gives so much importance to this focus. Let me explain this. Sādhyaparatvam, that is what the word is actually. Sādhyaparatvam. Sādhya is the goal. Paratvam means focused. Focused on the goal. That is how it should be. Okay. So he's adding one more word. Sādhyaikaparatvam. Sādhyaikaparatvam means sādhyaikaparatvam. Only. Okay. Only the goal. focused only on the goal. Okay. Then he goes on to add another word, eva. Only focusing on the goal alone. Why so many words? Alone, only. They mean the same thing, but he wants to give you, this is so much important. Your focus should not waver. That is why he says, sādhyaikaparatvameva. Two words he is using. That they are additional. It is not just for filler. He could have used something as a filler. Because in metrical composition, you have to have these proper number of characters. It's not just for that. It is to give the importance to this, your focus. You should have to have that complete focus. So, pumarthasiddherniyamena kāraṇaṃ. Pumarthasiddhe, for any purushartha, whether you want to have wealth or you want to have the knowledge or whatever, any purushartha, for any kind of activity in free will, niyamena kāraṇaṃ, niyamena, always, kāraṇaṃ, it's a cause. So, having one focus on the goal alone is the cause for any kind of accomplishment in the world. Therefore, anyatha, otherwise, sādhyam naiva sidhyati, the focus, whatever is your sādhya, whatever is your goal, naiva sidhyati, can never be accomplished. If you don't have that focus, you will never be able to accomplish your goal. Ishan manaḥpramāde. Now he is bringing another word, beautiful word. manaḥpramāde. Manaḥprasada means grace of mind. Manaḥpramāda. Pramada word we have seen in different places. Pramada means carelessness. Pramada means carelessness. Manaḥpramāda, the carelessness of the mind. Naturally is of the mind. Okay. Ishat, even a little bit carelessness of the mind. Even if you are little bit careless, prayatnaḥ viphalaḥ, your effort is useless. Even a little bit of carelessness will lead to useless effort. That is why pramādo vai mrityuh, carelessness is death. That is why we keep repeating again and again. cittaṃ. I don't understand. So he says, cittaṃ dṛṣṭiṃ. Without giving an example, if you are going to explain something, we don't understand. So he is giving you an example, beautiful example, after explaining the exemplified. Cittaṃ dṛṣṭiṃ karaṇaṃ tathā anyat dekatra badhnāti lakṣyabhettā kiñcitpramāde sati lakṣyabhettu rbāṇaprayogo viphalo yathā tathā. Now, cittaṃ dṛṣṭiṃ karaṇaṃ tathā anyad dekatra badhnāti lakṣyabhettā kiñcitpramāde sati lakṣyabhettu rbāṇaprayogo viphalaḥ yathā tathā. Now, before explaining this, lakṣyabhettā means bheta, bidulru chedane, destroyer. Lakshya means the goal. One who fixes the goal and destroys it, targets it. Okay. Now, let us go to that later. Whether you are an archer or you are a gunner, whatever. Okay. So, in the case of the pistol, air rifle, etc., these kind of tournaments, you can see the people having a ear cover. It is just to avoid the, not just to not hear this sound. This sound is not a big sound, but to avoid the external sounds. And they'll have a cover. Earlier they used to close their eyes, etc., like this. But later it will hurt your eyes and there will be a problem, etc. So they have a cover. They'll have a cover for one eye. Okay. They'll keep it open, but their glass will have this eye, one eye, whichever is their weak eye, they'll have that covered. Other than that, they will focus on their breathing. They'll have to focus on their breathing and slow down their heartbeat. And then they focus. It's not like the movies, where in the movies, especially in Indian movies, you can see the hero shooting this way, that way, and all. He'll be shooting this side way and that way and all. And once an policeman told, This is all stupidity. Actually, you cannot hold the gun like that in different positions. It is heavy. I have held a pistol, so I know it's a heavy one. B, if you want to properly shoot someone, you have to hold it because there will be a reflex action. C, the pistol leaves the number or whatever they call it, the waste particle. So that also comes out. It will hit on your face. So you should have to be very careful and they'll be running and shooting, and every shot will be hitting the target. And in the case of the villains, when they are shooting, this hero will be running and it will never hit him. It's all stupidity. So the problem is, if you want to hit something, you have to have all your focus. You can see when this fellow is ready to aim and target the bow, and he has put the bow in the string and he's about to, and somebody is there next to him and sitting in that chatting and all that. Oh, that is a beautiful song, Stop it, will you? I'm focusing here. You focus. We are focusing also on talking. The problem is it doesn't happen like that. So that is why he says lakṣyabhettā, a person who shoots the target, cittaṃ cha, dṛṣṭiṃ, cittaṃ, his mind, and the dṛṣṭi, the vision, tathā ānyat cha karaṇaṃ. Similarly, the other sense organs also. He should have to control his breathing. He should have to not give his ears to other places. He has to have the breathing properly. He cannot like no, doesn't happen like that. He should be focused. So anyadhikaranam, all the sense organs, he should have to be having it under control. Dekatra badhnāti, he focuses on the lakṣya, the goal. Not just his eye is set on the goal, his whole body is set on the goal. Yathā badhnāti kiñcitpramāde sati. Now, if he is little careless, if he is going to, when he is about to aim, when he is listening to someone what he is saying and what and all that, he is not going to hit the target. So whether your mind is running away in some places, like in some movies, especially in Indian movies, you can see, to disturb this fellow, this hero, the villain will be kidnapping his family and say, okay, if you are see, now his mind is always fixed in the family. He cannot shoot the target properly. You can see all that in the movies. The problem is, if your mind is not fixed on the present, in the current situation, if your eye is not fixed on the target, if your other sense organs are not fixed on the target, then kiñcitpramāde, in any one of this, if there is a carelessness, then lakṣyabhettu rbāṇaprayogo viphalaḥ yathā tathā. So yathā lakṣyabhettu, like the one who is shooting, for him rbāṇaprayogo, using this arrow is useless. Bāṇa means arrow. Fixing the arrow is useless. If his mind is not proper, if his sense organs are not fixed, then he fixing the arrow on the string is useless. There's no point in fixing the arrow on the bow. So similarly, here also, there in the Vedanta also, if your mind is not fixed, if your sense organs are not fixed, if you are not focused, idea is, if you are not focused, even a little bit of a pramada will destroy you. Okay, sidhyestittasamādhānaṃ asādhyaikaparatvameva yatastato mumukṣūṇāṃ bhavittavyam sadāmuna. So he is concluding this samādhāna with saying the importance of samādhāna. Chittehe siddhehe cittasamādhānaṃ asādhyaikaparatvameva yataha tathā mumukṣūṇāṃ bhavittavyam sadāmuna. Yataha, because siddhehe, for accomplishing anything, cittasamādhānaṃ asādhyaikaparatvameva. Cittasamādhānaṃ, focus of mind, is asādhyaikaparatvameva. Sādhyamīṣa means a general cause. Asadharana means not a general cause, mean a special cause, the important cause, the primary cause. Okay. So having focused mind is the primary cause, is the important cause for accomplishing anything. Tathā, therefore, mumukṣūṇāṃ sada amuna bhavitavyam. The mumukṣūs, the person who desires liberation, should always have this citta prasada, this focus of mind, cittasamādhāna. Okay. Now, if you want to gain the goal, you have to have the cittasamādhāna. Meaning, cittasamādhāna is cause for gaining the goal. Okay, understood. What is the cause for cittasamādhāna? What is the cause for cittasamādhāna? Do you understand? For gaining this, if you have the samādhāna, then you can gain the goal. But to gain the samādhāna, what should I have? What is the cause for that? That is explained. Both important, very important. Okay. Atyanta tīvra vairāgyam phalalipsā mahattara tadetat ubhayam vidyāt samādhānasya kāraṇam. Atyanta tīvra vairāgyam phalalipsā mahattara tadetat ubhayam vidyāt samādhānasya kāraṇam. Vairagya, you know, vairagya, discrimination, dispassion. Okay, vairagya, dispassion. He's not saying vairagya, he's saying tīvra vairagya. We have seen tīvra vairagya also. Tīvra samyagādhānaṃ āsannaḥ, one who has tīvra vairagya, great dispassion. For him, it is very quick. What is quick? Samadhi is quick. Gaining the liberation is quick. That we saw already through the Yoga Sutra. Tīvra samyagādhānaṃ āsannaḥ. Now he is not just saying tīvra samvega, tīvra vairagya. He's saying atyanta tīvra vairagya, absolute, strong dispassion. Atyanta, complete, absolute, strong dispassion. Okay. No, that is not all. That is not all. Then what? He says, mahattara phalalipsā. Phalalipsā, lipul repane, means to be associated with the result. Phala. Association with the result. That should be mahattara. Very great. What is this? One side he says you have to have a greater dispassion. Other side he says you have to have greater association, desire for the result. You understand? Dispassion and passion. There's no contradiction. Here, you have to have dispassion for everything else. You have to have complete passion for the goal, which is the desire for the goal, which is the realization. Phalalipsā, here is realization. Desire for realization. Tadetat ubhayam, these two, meaning a very great amount of desire for the result, the realization, and absolute superior dispassion is a samādhānasya kāraṇam. Is these two are ubhayam samādhānasya kāraṇam, are cause for samādhāna. Vidyāt, know this to be so. So these two are important, which are cause for the samādhāna. Having very great dispassion and having a very great desire for the goal. See, if you don't have desire for the goal, your dispassion is useless. If you have only dispassion with only the desire for the goal without the dispassion, then the desire for the goal is useless. So you have to have both in equal amount. Meaning not equal. I have both, but there is nothing there. So we are saying this in a complete sense, in an absolute sense, we have to have both. Okay. So now till this we have seen the samadhi shatka sampatti. Samadhi shatka sampatti is over with this. Now in the next 3 shlokas he is explaining about see, each one is important, we saw. Now the whole of samadhi shatka sampatti is important to say that he is establishing 2 kinds of sadhanas. One is bahiranga sadhana, the other is antaranga sadhana. Bahir anga, bahir means external, anga means limb. Antar anga, antar means internal, anga means limb. So external limb and internal limb. These are the two kinds of sadhanas. External limb is always weaker than the internal limb. Like if you are to make a pot, you have to bring clay in a vehicle, and you have to bring water, etc., in a pot and all that. Okay. So they are all external. Does not really matter who brought the clay, when the clay was brought, how many years before it was here, doesn't really matter. The clay, if it is there, it is okay. That's all it is needed. But at the present, if somebody is not able to make the clay into a pinda, mound, and placing it on the wheel to make a pot, then all the other things are useless. Oh, I have clay, I have water, so water. If you are not able to make a pot at present, then those are useless. So important cause for gaining any goal is the internal result, not the external one. External is weaker and internal is stronger. Or we can see that in the case of this, in the other channel I said, iShastra QA, I explained also this. In North India, they call it Sutak. In South India, we call it Tita. The inauspicious days. Okay. When somebody dies or something, we say, if he is a far relative, he is a relative of distance, Dayadi we call it. If he is a distant relative. Now what happens is, sometimes only taking a bath through head is enough. That inauspiciousness is washed off. It is gone. The closer the association with the dead one, the more. If it's a close relative, probably for 3 days. If he's a very close relative, like your blood relative, your brother, your sister, your parents, or whoever it is, if he's a very close relative, then for the next 13 days, it is considered to be inauspicious. Okay? That's how we see it. Now, the inauspiciousness becomes more when it is closer, right? Or to give an example from the world, we can see that, see, if I say there was a bomb blast somewhere, then, there was a bomb blast, it seems, somewhere. That's a news. No emotions there for us. But let us say the bomb blast is, or the bomb blast or death or something is in the next house or in our own house. That becomes a shocking thing. It's not just a news, it is a experience for us. So similarly here, the more the closer, more the powerful it is. So that is why he says, bahirangam shruti praha brahmacharyadi muktaye samadhyaikaparatvameva eva etad antarangam vidurbuddhaha. Bahirangam shruti praha brahmacharyadi muktaye samadhyaikaparatvameva eva etad antarangam vidurbuddhaha. Brahmacharyadi muktaye, in earlier in the beginning, we saw during the manaḥpramāde or something, we saw the different sadhanas, the means for gaining the tranquility of mind, which is a brahmacharya, etc., celibacy, etc., right? So he says brahmacharyadi for muktaye, for the realization, the brahmacharya, etc., bahirangam are accepted to be external cause, external means. Shrutihi praha, this is what the Shruti says. Shruti says, Shruti pramana. Okay, first pramana. Then, yetad samadhi shatkameva, and this samadhi shatka, these 6 accomplishments, these are antarangam, or internal. Who says this? Vidur Buddha. The Buddhas, the liberated ones, the knowledgeable ones know this. The learned ones know this. So we are using two pramanas to establish that idea that these 6 accomplishments are very important. One is shruti pramana, second is anubhava pramana. In Vedanta, we accept 3 pramanas: shruti, yukti, anubhava. Shruti, the scriptures; yukti, logic; and anubhava, experience. The experience of the realist one is accepted, and the words of the shruti is accepted here. So brahmacharya, etc. are important, but they are external. But the internal is a samadhi shatka only. Okay, samadhi shatkam eva. Samadhi shatka alone. You have to remember that eva also. Antarangam hi balavat bahirangat yathā tathā samadhi shatkam jñāso avashyam bhavyam antaram. We have already said. Antarangam hi balavat bahirangat yathā tathā samadhi shatkam jñāso avashyam bhavyam antaram. Yathā bahirangat antarangam balavat. Since with respect to the external, internal is powerful. We know through the examples. So with respect to the external, internal is more powerful. Therefore, tathā, therefore, antaram samadhi shatkam jignasoho avashyam bhavyam. The internal, shama, etc. 6 qualifications. Jignasoho, by the jignasu, avashyam bhavyam, definitely should be practiced. Since the internal is more powerful than the external, the one who is desiring the knowledge, to gain the knowledge, desiring to gain the knowledge, should practice the internal accomplishments, internal, the 6-fold accomplishments. Okay, samadhi shatkameva. We'll see this. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva avashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti.